So I actually joined because I was looking online. I'm in AI and marketing services, and I just got a client that's doing business brokerage, obviously, and I just had some questions about like the legalities of things. One thing that I really liked about your YouTube platform, that's how I got here, is from your YouTube. One thing that I really liked about it is it kind of gave me the answers that I needed. I think it outlined in several states it was legal to kind of accept commissions, and other states it wasn't necessarily legal. I did have a few questions about that, if you don't mind, or had any advice on that. Do you have any
You talking
resources?
about referral fees for
Yeah.
non-licensed agents?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Sorry for that. I should have been more clear.
No, no worries, no worries. Yeah, sure. So what specifically? Well, first of all, one thing you need to understand is that there's 33 states that don't require any kind of a license to sell a business.
Mm.
So if there's no license required, then there's no referral fee issues other than
Yes, ma'am.
um, many states, if you are Um, if you're a CPA, yeah, then in many states you're not allowed to accept referral fees from anybody other than another CPA. Same with attorneys. If you're an attorney, you're not allowed to accept referral fees from anybody other than another attorney. And that's going to be kind of state by state, I think. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you'd have to check the state laws there. But in terms of in the 33 states where there's no license required to sell a business, you can pay pretty much anybody a referral fee as long as they're allowed to receive it.
Okay. I definitely appreciate that. Is there any like specific wording, or is it like okay to have a contract that specifically says like referral fee or, kickback? I mean, is there a preferred way to say that, just, or is it just kind of
Finder's fee, referral fee, those are typically the terms that are used. Kickbacks are typically avoided
okay.
because it
Okay, well,
just got a different connotation. And so,
yeah.
you know, um, could be a success fee, as brokers, as business brokers, when we're dealing with our clients, we're charging them a success fee. We
Mm,
only get paid when their business is sold
mm.
in many cases. So, um, and again, that depends on the state that you're in, whether it's a licensed state or a non-licensed state. But like I'm here in California, so in California, we business brokers are regulated by the Department of Real Estate. And under the
Okay.
Department of Real Estate, under the Business and Professions Code, you're not allowed to accept advance fees. So once we list a
Mm.
business for sale and we start marketing it, we're not allowed to accept any fees until it's sold. So it is a success fee.
Okay. Is that like an industry specific term? I've been in, doing commission work for a little while. Never heard of success fee. Is that like industry specific or?
I mean, it is a commission, but it's just it's paid. Yeah, I guess it could be industry specific. I don't know. I guess there may be other industries that use it, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. If you're successful selling the business, you get paid a commission. So kind of one and the same.
I definitely appreciate that. And most of the brokers I've spoke to, out in Texas, there's been a few other states, but most brokers are like, hey, you know what, it's pretty much like the Wild West, and very little regulation. So I just I'll definitely do my due diligence when it comes to opening a new state. Do you have any like resources that kind of outlines that, like what states can or can't be, or is it just I'm gonna have to do my due diligence based on
Well,
each
I
state marketing?
yeah, I think so Business Brokerage Press had an article that they put out several years ago. If you Google which state requires a real estate license to sell businesses, you'll come across their article and they list out the states that actually require a real estate license. So all the rest of them are pretty much the Wild West, like Texas, right? So
Awesome,
where
awesome.
are you
And you said it's
located, John?
Business Broker Plus? I'm actually in Texas right now. Just came from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay.
I travel a lot though. I think about last year I was in two other states. I was in Arizona. Before that, I was in Porterville, California. So
Okay,
travel a
so
lot.
California, Arizona, and Nevada are all require a real estate license to sell a business. All three of them are licensed state. Nevada is even stricter because it also requires a business broker permit in addition to the
Okay,
real estate license. It's the only state that does that. But
okay.
Texas is a non-licensed state, so anybody could wake up in the morning and decide, hey, I'm going to hang out my shingle as a business broker
I
because
love it.
there's
Love it.
no regulations in Texas. That the only thing you have to be aware of in non-licensed states is that because there's no license required, you can't deal with the real estate.
Mhm.
So you can't be involved in transferring a lease or selling a real estate for the business owner if they own the property. You would have to get a commercial broker in to do that. And then
Mhm.
you also cannot write purchase agreements because or fill in the blank of a purchase agreement because that would be considered practicing law without a license.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate that. Do you mind me asking one more time for that resource? Is it Business Brokers Plus?
It's Business Brokerage Press, but the
Press.
easiest way to come across that article is just Google which states require a real estate license to sell a business.
All right. Awesome.
And then I think that article will pop right up in the Google list, and you just click on it, print it out, stick it on your wall. That
Awesome.
way it's just there all the time. Every time somebody talks to you about a different state, you look at that list and okay, is it licensed or non-licensed?
So Tanya,
Actually
in
pulling that up
California,
right now.
sorry to cut in California, I thought I had seen some guidance that said referral fees are to non-licensed parties is capped at kind of like $500, and maybe not dollar specific, but some nominal amount. What what's allowed to in terms of paying a referral fee to a licensed agent versus a non-licensed individual?
To my knowledge, in California, it's only 1 to 4. If it's residential 1 to 4, you can't pay referral fees to non-licensed people. But other than that, there's no restrictions, to my knowledge, unless unless they just passed something recently. But there's never been, for commercial and business, there have never been restrictions. It's only, and even on, well, an apartment building with 5 units is considered
Yeah,
commercial. So yeah, it's only the residential 1 to 4, and that's federal law. That's RESPA, I
that's
think,
more of
that
a RESPA
controls that.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm. So other than that, I'm not aware of any restrictions unless there's been new regulations passed recently.